She's a Delta woman with a divine future. It's Dee Reed, who is an inspirational shining star in Birmingham, Alabama. Dee Reed is doing her part to serve the community through her outreach efforts with the Rickey Smiley Foundation and the Woke Vote movement. It's the spirit-filled Dee Reed of Delta Sigma Theta, coming up next on Grown in Greek TV. Grown in Greek TV on location, and I get a chance to talk to a friend of mine. We know each other from radio, but you're doing some wonderful, wonderful things. But let me introduce you to Miss Dee Reed. That's Deereed.
Yes, that's
easy to
correct.
remember.
Yep.
And DeeReed.com on.
Yep, on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff.
Okay,
yep.
So remember that. But Dee, let's talk a little bit about it, like everything that you do.
Oh, okay.
We know each other from radio,
right?
And your I guess expertise would more so be promotions and facilitating getting things out to the people.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about, just your background in terms of that, and we'll go forward from there.
Yeah, so I pledged Delta at Miles, Spring 09.
Okay.
And while I was in college, I started interning at 95.7 Jams. So I was literally that person that would spend the night at the radio station. I was there.
You fell in love with it.
Yes, early in the morning, late at night. And it's funny that you say that because I had several internships during that time, but radio is just what stuck.
It's like a drug.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
It really is, especially when you enjoy it.
Right.
It definitely is one of those things where you have to have a love for it because, at times it can be very time consuming. We talked about working on holidays and all that, but it's one of those jobs where you pretty much give that up for others, to be able to enjoy themselves.
Right.
So started out in promotions, pretty much just worked my way up. So I was the marketing director for 95.7, which is in Birmingham, and 105.1 in Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
And then eventually I found myself doing on air on the gospel station. So it was interesting because here it is, like I'm marketing a hip hop station, but meanwhile I'm on air on a gospel station.
Now, what was your name on the gospel station?
It was still Dee Reed.
It was still Dee?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
They didn't make you change it?
They didn't make me change
Okay.
it. No, I think because a lot of people, they knew me, so they knew my heart.
Okay.
And even being at Jams, it's funny because I looked at that as a ministry because a lot of the people that we got a chance to interact with were people that, needed help in many different ways. So it's funny, I always tell this story. So one year at the Car and Bike Show, here it is, Master P was headlining. We had Q, Cash Out, all of these, hip hop artists, obviously.
Yeah.
But then in the midst of that, we had Alexis Spike from Sunday's Best.
Yeah.
So any way that I could find a way, to inspire and motivate and give people a word, like I definitely use my platform to do so.
So let me tell you this: we are actually more alike than you would really know.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know this or not.
Yeah.
But so I started at 95.7, and I ended up being on air in APD at AGG.
What? I did not know that. Yeah.
So
okay.
we have walked kind of the same path.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they made me change my name.
Okay. So what were you on the gospel station? I know I've started interviewing you. What was your, no, sister what? Sister what? Sister Faith.
No.
Missionary.
No.
Evangelist.
Oh
Lord.
I'll tell you later.
All right, stay tuned. I'm trying to find out this name.
I'll tell you later. Well, let's get into like now.
Okay.
So you started out doing radio, and then you got into more of, I guess you could say more philanthropic, and you jumped into the political arena.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Head first.
Yeah. Okay. Your first outing, I guess, into the political arena, was it running for office?
Yeah, it was. Dang. I mean, I went full blown.
Okay.
All gas, no break.
And tell us about jumping head first in it and why.
Well, here's the thing. So, coming from radio, my major was communications.
Okay.
So, I didn't major in political science or anything. I've just always had a knack for people and just a love for the community, working in radio.
Yeah.
And here it is, I'm driving around, true story, and I see all these abandoned buildings, all these dilapidated homes. And I was like, something needs to be done about this. And so in that moment, I kind of started playing around with the idea of potentially running for office. And I prayed about it. I talked to a few people, and that's why it's so important to be connected to the right people, because all of my friends, they were immediately behind me. They were like, when we started, let's go, let's do it. And funny enough, none of us really had a lot of political experience in terms of putting together a campaign. We just used all of the talents that we had developed from working other jobs. So from radio, I learned promotions, I learned marketing, the importance of video and social media and all of that. So we just put those skills, we sat around the table and we decided who was going to do what, and we went for it.
So you did well.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to you doing it again.
Yes,
and
most
us
definitely.
calling you councilwoman.
Yes.
Really soon.
Maybe one day mayor. We'll see. That's
mayor.
an exclusive right there.
Okay. All right. So I told you to remember Dee Reed. So everything that you learned running for office really came full circle
It really
when you
did.
helped with the Doug Jones campaign.
Yeah.
And he actually won.
Listen, it's amazing. I mean, his campaign focused a lot on just grassroots, just getting out there. And something that we talked about the other day is just not necessarily needing a title to serve. Like, you can be a regular person and have an impact. And something that I really made a point of sharing on my social media was, hey, you don't necessarily have to have all of this experience. Call your friends. I mean, work within your circle in terms of telling people the importance of this election and how it impacts them. When you talk about healthcare and education, jobs, equal pay, and all of that starts on a local level. So, my whole goal going into 2018 is now sharing all of which I've learned with other people, so that way we can train and groom more black women to run for office.
Now, do you consider yourself a role model now?
You know what?
That you've spit all of that to...
Well, I would say this very humbly. I know that I do have a platform, and so I'm very mindful of what I post. Even when I go out, I'm mindful of how I'm dressed and how I, interact with people. I always have that in the back of my mind. So yes, to some degree.
Okay. So when people say the name Dee Reed, what message, I guess, do you want to carry when people say your name?
Yeah. So when people say my name, I want them to be able to, number one, say that girl loves God, and two, she is out here making a difference. Because I want to use everything that I've gained to inspire and motivate other people to follow their dreams. So whether it's running for office, whether it's starting a business, whether it's just working on your brand, starting a TV show, or traveling, whatever that is, do it. Know that God will send you everything that you need in terms of your support team. I will say this, like, even when I did reach out to some different people and I told them that running for office was something that I wanted to do, outside of the people that immediately said, we got your back, I also had people that told me I needed to wait. They told me that I wasn't ready, that I was too young, that I didn't have enough experience. But to those people, I said, I've waited long enough. So realizing that we are the solutions that we seek. We are the change that we seek. So that's what I want people to remember when they hear my name, or when they say my name.
Now, you're charged to your sorors of Delta Sigma Theta.
Yes. So my charge to my sorors of Delta Sigma Theta, it's simple. Do the work. When we joined this organization, it was about the work, about the commitment to people, to community, to scholarship, to service. So continue to do the work.
And look her up, follow her on social media. She needs your support. Everybody, D9, we support Dee Reed. But definitely all of your sorors of DST, Dee Reed, you can count on her, and she's doing work here in Birmingham, and she'll come to you.
Yes.
So remember that name. Social media, they got that. Any website, any other ways that people can reach you?
Yeah, so I have a website. It's deannareed.org.
Okay.
My plan over the next couple of weeks is to really update it with new events coming up. Towards the beginning of the year, I'm going to be launching a vision board tour.
Okay.
So last year we got started with it. Was very successful. We did Charlotte, we did Birmingham. So looking forward to expanding into some other markets. So who knows? It may be coming to a city near you.
Hey, man. All right, the political arena, promotions, deannareed.org.
Yep.
And the Rickey Smiley Foundation.
Yes.
Rickey is also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yes, he is.
How did all of that come together? And how did you get him to sit down like for 5 minutes and give you attention to be a part of it?
Well, you know, it started in radio, so working with Jams, you know, his radio show is nationally syndicated, and the work that is being done through the Rickey Smiley Foundation is really work that Rickey has been doing all along when it comes to donating to families and giving away school supplies and a lot of his initiatives. He has a heart for young people that have lost their parents. So, I mean, it's something that he's been doing all along, so now it just has that name, you know, that branding, the Rickey Smiley Foundation. And shout out to the bros, because the other night we did a rapping party and I made one phone call prior to. I told them that I needed their help, and his chapter, the Alpha Phi chapter, they came out in large numbers and they helped unload the U-Haul truck with the toys.
Those are some good brothers.
Yes, they are
really,
some
really
great brothers. Yes.
So shout out to Alpha Phi.
Yes,
definitely.
they are doing the work like we talked about earlier. So I mean, it's just been awesome just to see things just continue to manifest and to grow. Everything that's happened over the past few years with the foundation and the amount of people that are now getting involved and finding out how they can stay engaged by donating and by volunteering their time. So whether you're Greek or not, like, there's always something that needs to be done in the community. It's something that you can be a part of.
And you're the face and the voice by serving as the coordinator.
Yep, I am the Birmingham coordinator. Okay. So any of the programs that go on, chances are you're going to see me bouncing around somewhere doing something.
Okay. All right. Now, how can people participate?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have several things that we're planning this year. Birmingham Alive is one of our big events, but also being creative in terms of putting together some different fundraisers and fun events to bring to the city with Rickey and just the star power that comes along with that. So if you're interested in getting involved, you can visit the RickeySmileyFoundation.org to stay up to date, and we look forward to having you on board.
Dee Reed, Grown and Greek TV. Yeah.